Hi guys, you probably found this video searching for best smart sprinkler controller, or you saw my previous video where I did a review of the Rachio system. But there's a new sprinkler company on the market and their name is ImoLaza. They're breaking into the market with controllers around the same price, but with new features that we have not seen yet. So I thought it'd be fun to buy one and compare it to the Rachio, which has been the #1 seller on Amazon for a few years. I purchased this ImoLaza 8-zone Wi-Fi controller for $150, and they also had a $30 coupon to bring the price down to $120. It's rated at 4.8 stars with 247 ratings. Rachio's 8-zone system also sells for $150. I'll put a link in the video description below to all of these products so you can check them out yourself. When you get the controller and open it up, it comes with stickers, a mounting plate, a controller box, power supply, screws, and a small screwdriver. Nearly identical to what comes with the Rachio system minus the screwdriver, which is not needed for theirs. I forgot to purchase an outdoor enclosure, but they sell one for $30 just like Rachio, so I ordered one. Both controllers are not waterproof themselves, so you'll need to either mount this inside an outdoor enclosure or inside the garage, for example. Okay, ease of installation. Both controllers mount to the wall or inside their enclosure with simple Phillips screws. Once you get it mounted, you simply plug in the different colored wires. They are the different sprinkler zones. The white wire is reserved as the common wire, and that will go to the C area. It would not hurt to take a photo of your last controller and how it was wired before removing it. The Rachio system is extremely easy pushing the wires into the controller and they lock in place. The ImoLaza is a bit more difficult because you have to use that included screwdriver, but once you get them in there, it's not like you're going to be doing this often, so it's not that big of a deal. Both controllers have big physical buttons, so you don't have to use your phone if you want to cycle through the systems and check on them. And this is extremely necessary if you have a gardener that comes by and checks on your sprinklers. Both controllers have amazing apps available for free on the Apple App Store or on the Google Play Store. Both controllers connect to Wi-Fi easily and were super straightforward on the setup process. Once you have an account created and you go inside the app, it will walk through a tutorial on choosing your watering needs. It will ask you if you have grass, shrubs, garden, etc. It will also ask you about the soil type and slope angle. And you can get super nerdy here and enter all sorts of stuff like area, sun, and other deep agricultural scientific things that I know nothing about. But what I do care about is it allows you to take a photo of the zone so you can remember what everything looks like and how it's associated on the app. I love this. It will ask you a series of questions depending on how you want to water, such as odd or even days, and you can also do this optimized schedule and just let it do everything for you, which is what I do. What makes these controllers smart? Well, they use weather data from local stations to know when it's rained, when it's going to rain, and the wind. And using that data, it can forecast the weather for the next few days and make significant changes in your watering. That way, it will not waste water if there's a big rainstorm coming in the next few days. Now, this is pretty cool, especially if you live somewhere that rains a lot more than it does here in California. They also have other cool features like Smart Cycle and Soak. For example, if you want to water for 15 minutes but the soil can't absorb it fast enough, it will run off into the street. So it'll break that up and it'll water and then pause and then water and pause, allowing time for that soil to absorb the water and reducing runoff into the street. And it works super well. There's some other cool features that I'll show you here. One of them is called water delay. So if I went to schedules and at the top I hit water delay, I could delay the start of any of my cycles just for today or for a couple of days, and that will be good. You don't want to oversaturate your lawn before a party. Another cool thing they have is a new grass schedule. So if I want to add schedule at the bottom here, and I could tell them that I have a new grass and it's designed to have high frequency throughout the day. So let's say you just overseeded your lawn or you put sod down, you can select that and choose which zone you need to do. And now it'll run every 5 minutes, it'll run for 5 minutes at a time, and you can choose how long and how often. Another one of their useful features is standby mode. So I would go to settings, standby mode, and this is for seasonal type stuff. So from November 18th to March 18th, I can tell it to go in standby automatically. So during the winter season in California, we don't need to water the lawns. I can set that up automatically. And then another unique feature is the photo album. So here we are with all my different zones. And if I want to click on lawn number 2, I'll click there. And I click on the photo at the top right. And I can take different photos throughout the season. And you can see the progress of your lawn and see how things are doing. You can also take notes as well. So at the bottom here, I hit add notes and I can write down notes to remind myself maybe the square footage of this lawn or the last time it's been fertilized. So that's extremely helpful. And then one other thing I want to mention is you can tell it some really detailed things about when to finish watering. So if I go to irrigation times, you have the ability to tell it to finish watering before sunset or after sunset and how much time. And that's important because ideally you want to water your lawn in the evening, early morning hours before it's hot out, but not too early that it creates fungus. So you can set all that up automatically and it will track this different sunrise and sunsets throughout the season. And as far as a quick overview of the app here on the home screen, the first thing you'll see is the weather up here. So this is what's coming the next few days, and the numbers at the bottom are what zones are going to operate. Then you can click on schedules and you can see it either as a calendar view. You can see which schedules are going to run, or you can see it as a list view. Then the third tab over is zones. So that's where I can keep track of my 4 zones, and I could have up to 8 of them. And then the last button is settings, and that'll have all the different features if you need to dig in. When it comes down to it, the sprinkler boxes themselves, they're nearly identical. There's not much inside other than a circuit board, which turns power on and off through these small wires, and they connect through a Wi-Fi chip and an antenna. But the important part is the software and the phone app. And both controllers have excellent apps, and there's just no fumbling or frustration when you're programming, running, or adjusting your system. And that's what makes both of these great. Now I know there are big players in the market such as Orbit and Rainbird and many more, and they've had a lot of years to refine their systems, but these companies haven't been making progress like Rachio and ImoLaza. And they're just not innovating. And so it's really cool to see these two companies pushing the boundaries, creating nice apps. And I'm just really impressed with this ImoLaza sprinkler controller. I think it has features that no other sprinkler controller has, and I think it's going to be a great contender to Rachio. So if you're interested in any of these, I'll put links in the video description below. If you have questions, please drop a comment, and we'll see you in the next video.